Hey everyone, this is the Kubeflow community meeting for the 2nd of September, 2025. CNCF Code of Conduct applies as usual. Don't be mean effectively or be understanding maybe. Okay, so the first thing we always like to do is say hi to new members. So if anyone's in the call who've never been here before, wants to say hi, feel free to either type in chat or unmute yourself. Otherwise, we can on. Cool. Okay. So KubeCon NA, I think there is this quick update from Valentina, but the dates are on the screen and tickets are available now.
Yeah, thank you for the promo, Matthew. Hello, everyone. So yeah, KubeCon. So we will be having a collocated around Kubeflow Summit, Kubeflow Summit North America. So the schedule was already published weeks ago. So thanks everyone for submitting the sessions. It was really challenging to choose, the selected sessions. We only have some hours for this event, but I know it will be amazing. So we are counting with all of you to participate. But also, if you are planning to attend KubeCon and want to help out or just connect with us, we will be having our kiosk at the project pavilion as usual. So we'll be doing afternoon shift, which is a great opportunity because I think we will have more people coming, more opportunities to connect with the community. So I added a spreadsheet on the meeting notes so you can look at the different schedules. So if you know you will be there and if you're interested in, represent the Kubeflow community, you can talk about the project you're working on or just your experience or anything about Kubeflow. So just, add your name there. If you have any questions, reach out. The other thing is, if you want to be aware of everything that we are working on in the outreach program, please join the Slack. There is a link on the meeting notes. We will be working on more things such as content for KubeCon, like what are the type of demos we want to represent in the kiosk. So just let us know. It's a public channel. You can join. If you cannot find it, please reach out. The other great thing is the CNCF reach out as well. They ask us to work with them in some content to promote Kubeflow Summit. So if you are on that channel, I will be posting the draft for that so people can review it. But there are interesting questions about what are the things that we want to promote about Kubeflow and so on. I think with that, we are also looking for sponsors, so please reach out. The prospectus is there, linked as well. And I think that's all I have. So yeah, just be connected, reach out. If you still don't know much, just let us know as well. Hey, maybe I'm thinking on attending, how can I help? There are many ways of to help, even if you're not attending. If you want to write a blog about it or a video, anything, just reach out. Okay. Thank you, Matthew, for the time.
Yep. And I think if we want to give people a quick shout out for the small number of people who are currently sponsoring, do we know who's currently sponsoring?
We don't have sponsors yet.
Okay. I know that. Well, I know that Red Hat is going to, but yes, I know that Red Hat is going to. But yeah.
Yeah, as I know. I don't know if something has changed.
Sorry, it has changed. OSPO is going to be sponsoring the Red Hat OSPO is sponsoring at the gold level for Kubeflow.
Is that confirmed?
As far as I know, it is confirmed. We have the budget. We have allocated the budget, and we are, I believe, moving forward on that. So I've been out for a week, so I don't know. I've been on PTO for a week, so I'm just catching up.
Yeah, please keep me posted. Let me know if you are connected to the CNCF, if that's confirmed, because I haven't heard from them. And let me know if I can help on anything.
Cool. Okay, awesome. So if you haven't got tickets, please get them now. And if your company has sponsored tickets, obviously you can use those as well. But if you're gonna get tickets, you should do it sooner rather than later. I think it might have already passed the very cheap time, but still, we want people to come. It's a great time. It's always fun. Anything else you want to add? So booth volunteers, and when do people need to have volunteered by?
We have plenty of time. So yeah, right now it's open. I just created this. We just got confirmation over Friday about the shift. So
So
yeah,
what's
it's
the
only
exact? So these are the exact times.
yes, exactly.
And how can people express their interest? Is it on the Slack? Yeah. Okay.
It on the Slack or on the spreadsheet. The spreadsheet's open to everyone, so you can just add your name there.
We might
So if you Mhm.
suggest or something, you know what I mean? Because if it's a
Yeah,
public doc, be careful.
yeah.
Always be careful about
Right.
posting public docs in this meeting.
Well, we are all among friends.
There are lots of bots. There are lots of bots.
Yeah, I will keep an eye on it.
Okay, sure. By the way, if people don't know, you have to join the Kubeflow Discuss to be able to comment on this doc. And okay, oh no, apparently it really wants me to reload. That's awkward. Okay, there we go. Let's keep going. Okay, oh my gosh, it's glitching. Oh no, this is bad. What is happening? Here we go. Okay. There we go. Okay, I think we made this tag already, and I don't think there's anything more to talk about there, just that's the latest release. I think we always like to talk about that. Currently, we're working on graduation rather than making a new release right now. Anything else anyone needs to, oh, and then, sorry, I forgot about this one. Andre or Eder.
Yeah, I can talk about it. Yeah, so we just kicking off this new working group called ML Experience. So the goal of this working group is to streamline user experience for AI practitioners and data scientists. We try to see how we can bring, give them Pythonic native or Jupyter-based interfaces, and make them easier to interact with Kubeflow APIs across different projects and tools. So we started with Kubeflow SDK, so there are a lot of other initiatives coming from Eder and Stefan around Kale and Elira and other projects within Jupyter. So how we can bring more native experience to Jupyter. But all in all, like we have these calls every Wednesday, every second Wednesday on 3 p.m. UTC or 8 a.m. Pacific time. So at the same time we have this call, we just meet on Wednesdays. So please join us. And we have like I think the public Slack channel as well called Kubeflow/ML Experience. I will link it here. Yeah, like I think like maybe just a bit for the SDK side, we're planning to have a first release relatively soon. I think we definitely need to talk about it, but overall, I think we want to release it maybe sometime in early September, when we finish the local execution and other important breaking changes, PRs. So yeah, I think that will be also soon. We'll announce it here once it is ready. The 0.1 release.
Do you want to link that, or do we not yet?
Yeah, I will link it here.
Repo. Cool. And I think someone added.
Yeah, I added this. Yeah, for KO will be our first extension for the machine learning experience working group. We did a work with GSOC student that we bumped KO original code for Jupyter 4 and also for Kubeflow pipelines v2. And now we are wrapping up also the migration for the front end because this brought some small issues, but it's a nice report of the result of the project 5 on Google Summer of Code.
And so this was an update in the existing repo, or is this moving to a different repo?
Yeah, it's on the existing repo, and we are doing some cleanup. It's Kubeflow KO. I put on the chat here as well. Okay. Sorry. And as soon as we wrap up everything, we're going to propose this to migrate for probably a repo on the Kubeflow.
Did you link it?
Yeah, I put on the chat here, but I put on the doc as well.
Who actually has the ability to move this from like a legal perspective?
It's Stefano. Stefano has the ownership for everything.
Okay. I mean, we probably need to put it through a basic review because I think it was owned previously by like another org. Right?
Yes. He talked with it was from Aricto, the CEO, and we got the official confirmation from his side, but we are going to run everything around legal, this sort of stuff before the graduation. Yeah. But first we no, absolutely. First, we just want to start having a stable version and do cleanup in the repository even before starting discussing this.
So we'll be able to cut a release on this one though.
Yep.
Okay, cool. And is this the base that we want to use and everything? I thought we were talking about like 3 different bases, or am I missing something?
Yeah, this is the first step. and then we're going to discuss to have some code on the repo. Then we're going to discuss the next steps that we include working as Andre said with the Lyra team, and also with the Jupyter.
And so just
figure
to
out what's the
clarify,
progress.
are we actually going to move the repo or are we just going to move the code? Because if it's code, you don't need to do any review at all.
Oh yeah, I mean, they probably will be the code only.
Yeah, yeah. Because if
Yeah,
it's
we-
Apache
we-
2.0, right? That's you can
Yeah,
just
we
move
need to we need to sort out all this. What's the best approach for this?
Yeah,
later.
cool.
But first, I want us having a working version to this.
Awesome. And call to action for everyone. So join the meetings Wednesdays at
Yep.
3 p.m. UTC, 8 a.m. Pacific time, or 11 a.m. Eastern time. And how do they join? They go to the it's pretty annoying to do it, but let me just link it. Oh, it's moved. Oh no, where has it gone? Oh, community calendar. Go to this place and you can either try and get it by joining the Kubeflow Discuss, but it doesn't. Wait, has this worked by the way, Andre?
It doesn't on the calendar. But the next meeting will be Wednesday 10.
Okay,
And
so
you
how do
can
people
find a
join
link in
that?
the document. Yeah, you click on the document and there is a link there.
Okay.
And Andre also sent a temporary invite for the mail list.
Yeah, we need to probably talk about that as a.
Yeah.
Let me just put that actually as a.
Can Matthew please add a note that the next one will be September 10, the next meeting?
Not this week.
Not the week, it'll be the next one.
Okay, wait, okay. Next meeting, September.
And folks that want to help with the front end, probably today or tomorrow, I will breaking down a lot of issues on the front end that is missing. Thanks.
Cool. Okay. Okay, cool. Anything else you want to add there before we move on to many things? Put that one there. Okay, cool. Andre, I think we probably should talk about this FOSSA thing and related graduation stuff.
Yep, you can give update for FOSSA first.
Well, I mean, I only know from my perspective, but what we did is we created this FOSSA project is about scanning for licenses. It's used by the CNCF. It's an external company, but it is, it's paid for or for free, I'm not sure, by the CNCF. If you have one of the main projects that is going to be graduated, we've created a project in here to be able to actually use this. So for example, if we look at pipelines, you need to be onboarded as a maintainer of both Kubeflow and then eventually added to this. Not everyone who's a maintainer needs this. Usually this should just be kind of sitting there in the background checking new PRs for issues. And then if there's ever a lot of these will be incorrect, like there won't actually be license issues. There'll be other things like dual licensed projects that we need to clarify what license we're using it under and stuff like that. So if you look at, for example, I know that Matteo might be able to give some more context, but they've been going through and clearing through all of their ones. And so what should happen right now, at least, and if stuff doesn't work, please tell me, is that when you make a pull request on, let's say, model registry, is it working for you guys at the moment? So I can show what it looks like.
Yeah, it's working, and I'm adding a comment of the button. Thanks, Andre, for mentioning. So the latest on this one is there is a button on FOSSA. So for those of you with access, that in case that those three lines item are failing, can be pressed on FOSSA to allegedly unlock it. So this is what we are currently testing on model registry, because the FOSSA action were timing out on model registry for a few PRs. So thanks,
Interesting.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
but it's fine for most of them.
It's
that
fine
right?
for most of them. The problem is that for those that were timing out, I couldn't find a way to unlock them, and it was blocking for a PR to be merged, which was a very unfortunate situation to experience. So because it locks the PR. So that button, run policy scan, nearby the green thing. So allegedly clicking that button when there is a PR that is clogged, unclogs them.
Oh yeah, that definitely triggers it to run. Yeah.
So far, this is what I'm being running with.
So hopefully it does it automatic. We could probably fix that. But anyway, the goal is that, so we should try and be compliant with all the licensing related things. If a pull request if FOSSA thinks that a pull request is adding code that it's not allowed to be used for licensing reasons, if it thinks that, maybe go check, don't just merge it and run in the repo. So right now, I believe, Andre, which ones are actually turned on? I believe some of them are not turned on. So pipelines, for example, is not turned on.
It's not turned on for pipelines, KDIP, I think.
Yeah, so this tick here under settings policies needs to be turned on, but obviously you can't do that until you've resolved the issues, otherwise it'll block every PR. So I think as you're saying, CATIP was another one. So we'd love people who are maintainers of these projects to kind of go through and see again. In most cases, these are false flags, but if they're not, please talk to the KSC about what we should do. Maybe reach out directly to Andre, I'd say. If you
I mean, I think like the most important thing here for the pipelines team to take a look on the license issues and try to fix them ASAP. So we can.
Well, they could be incorrect. Like what I'm saying is they could.
I understand. Like ignore them or update the dependencies then.
And then you can ignore them forever as well. So like if they're and again, there's some dependencies that are not used in the app. They might be used in development and other things like that. But there's various reasons. If you need help from people, I guess reach out to me or Andre, and then we can reach out to the CNCF if we have serious questions. I believe we were pretty careful up until recently, so it shouldn't be any legal issues, but we'll see. So yeah, the basic policy, if people don't know, is no GPL license-based stuff, effectively. Of course, there can be exceptions, and CNCF does make exceptions, but it's just when that happens, we need to be very clear. Okay, anyone else want to add anything? So graduation overall, what is our status, Andre? We talked last week, obviously.
Yeah, I think so. We're pretty good. Like we have the first draft from security audit. I think I already reached out to the maintainers to take a look in their findings. So if you want to get involved, let us know. I can add you to the private Slack channel, and you can also take a look like what kind of vulnerabilities team found. But all in all, like I think once this is ready, I hope by end of this week I will open application and we can move forward. So we already have 3 adopters that's committed to give an interview to CNCF about their usage of Kubeflow. And I think everything else has already been complete. The general technical review doc was also complete. And if we don't have any feedback from community or CNCF, we will just move forward with that one.
And then we've got the confirmation from the CNCF that they're ready to review it and able to review it. So because we want to try and get it done.
Yeah. I asked them 1 week ago, but we will give them 1 more week, and then we will just merge this PR to community repo.
For the GTR.
Yep.
Yeah, we should. Have we got a PR for that? Okay, we'll do it later. Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think maybe just 2 blockers in notebooks and pipelines, right? So do we have any updates for notebooks for OpenSF?
We're getting closer. So that's one of the things that we can quickly talk about as well, which is that as part of not FOSSA, but as part of security scanning, most projects are starting to use the code scanning section of the GitHub repo. And so you can set that up to both accept user reports of security issues and automatic scans as well. And so as part of that, if you have people who you want to be able to see that in your working group, but don't need write access to the repo, especially if there's multiple projects in a repo, or it's just like there's too many people and it wouldn't make sense for them all to have write access, and you use approvers rather than that policy. You can, because we have an enterprise GitHub account, create a custom group, and it's called security. And so you just need an admin to create all you need to do is assign that role to a team, and then create that team in internal ACLs. And so we'll be doing that very soon, if not already. I think someone might have already done it for notebooks. And what that lets people do is it lets people see the security code scanning page. And what we're planning to do so that we can be compliant with the security reviewing stuff is to go through them on a regular basis or whenever they come in, and evaluate their actual risk to the project. So just because something upstream might be a medium or a high or above level vulnerability, it might not even be used in the app if it's just scanned incorrectly or things like that. So, or if it's just not used in the critical code path. So that's our plan to be compliant. But again, if there's issues that we can't fix, we'll work with everyone. But so hopefully we'll have some movement there by the end of this week, Andre, at least on notebooks 1.0.
Okay. Yeah, just like maybe just a quick question for other working groups. We've been discussing whether we want to have a centralized team for all of the security folks who want to have access to this tab. Any concerns from other working groups or other maintainers on the call to give access to everyone? Not like everyone, but basically like for people who are willing to help us with the security report, like security fixes.
So
Like basically, like they will they will have access to the security tab in the GitHub.
So again, I don't think people are worried about who. If I mean, trusted people having access is fine, I guess. But I think the thing we were talking about was who should be responsible, and I think it's clearly the working groups themselves are responsible to fix their own issues, right?
Yep.
In the end, right?
No, I mean, I would. I mean, I want to hear like other working group perspective again. I think who is responsible to fix the second question, right? Because, for example, we can have a security team who will report a status and then they will just, roll back to the maintainers. They will just tell the maintainers, hey, you should update this package or you should do this fix, right? And then maintainers will do the work. But overall, like from my point of view, we should give access to the security tab for all of the Kubeflow maintainers who are active. And then we will iterate on this. But I'm happy to,
I mean, in the short,
concerns
I think the blocking thing is making sure that the people who are actually going to need to fix it have access for each working group, though, right? So, like,
yeah, I would again, from my point of view, I would give access to everyone.
I mean, that's
everyone who is active in Kubeflow projects.
We can work on creating a separate ACL for that, I guess. But I guess the question is, should they have view access or actual write access on the code scanning part?
I'm fine to give them write access.
I mean, I still feel like the short-term blocker is just to get people who need access, and then move from there. Because I'm obviously I'm not going to be reviewing other like Spark operators security issues, for example, you know what I mean? But I will be reviewing notebooks. I might be reviewing other ones, but it's like, and then I think the short term is that most repos don't actually need a special group because the only people who will review are people who have write access. But for the few projects which are very much using owners files.
Yeah, like otherwise we can give access to this team groups, right? So because like we've been using this for SDK for trainer, like because we didn't give write access to everyone.
Yes, that's what I mean.
We give them access to apply milestones. So for this we created the team called trainer team and SDK team. And why we could we create this could we give access to these teams, right?
That's what but wait, you can apply milestones with the / commands as well.
No, like you have to be in this specific team and you have to update the
Oh, you're talking about with Prow. You did it with Prow.
Yeah, yes, that's true. Otherwise you cannot apply a milestone, right?
Yeah, that is true, yes.
So otherwise, we can give access to those folks, access to the dependency tab. This could be...
That's up to your people, right? So I'm saying that's up to each working group can choose how they want to assign it. They can figure it out. All we're saying is that there's now the ability to do it without having to give write access. So that's just the thing that we were telling
people. I think the question we should answer, should we have like one team per Kubeflow or...
I think initially, let's just solve the problem for the working groups that need it. So have one for your working group and then we can discuss, because that's not controversial at all. And then if people want to set up a security working group, we can do that, you know what I mean? Or something like that. But since that doesn't exist right now, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it doesn't exist right now, I agree.
Like next steps, any project which wants a security review GitHub team can create one, reach out to Andre plus Matthew and we will help. Future like discuss having a security overall security review GitHub team / working group, but this is kind of longer term because again the goal here is just to solve the initial issue right now. Anything else we want to add there? So about graduation overall, like raise the PR Wait,
Yeah,
where's
I
the-
mean, I wish notebooks and pipelines will complete the OpenSF batch, and then, you know.
Yeah, the goal is to get that done over the next few days. Or no, again, we won't be able to get it done, but like at least understand the current, how seriously problematic it will be based off stuff. But yes, that is
I
a
think the
priority.
blocker also the trivia, right? So who can do the
Well,
work?
that's easy to set up. We've already,
But who will do the work?
I think we already have PRs to do that, right? Well, at least we do.
So then I guess like we can just, you know, you do use the same PR for all of the projects, right? If
That
there's
would
a
be well,
notebooks.
it would be dependent on the project, but yeah, like sometimes scanning can be done in different ways. But yeah, so what we're talking about here is that similar to how Fossa will add status checks, well, actually it's not the same as that. Effectively, you can add so that code scanning happens in projects now use the code scanning page on GitHub to review automated and user raised security reports on repos. So like this is what we're talking about here. So you can add every project should add Trivi auto scans which upload. I should put that under next steps probably. Upload results into code scanning. Projects should regularly review if the auto raised issues are legit, are actually serious, and give them a real CVE score. And so this is and resolve them as appropriate. So anyway, that's kind of what we've been talking about. So there's a new, like we can set up these Trivi scans as GitHub actions. If people have concerns about using specifically Trivi, that's up to each working group, I guess. But you need to have something.
I have a question on this one. Is this Trivi to be done instead of the GraphQL code scans that is already set up, or sort of like how the community?
No, you can do both. Like that's fine.
Yeah, I know. I'm just asking what we are thinking is like, do we add this one on top of the existing CodeQL scans?
I think the CodeQL ones are quite minimal, right? They're only about dependencies and stuff, right?
No, we got also like sort of like a vulnerability hopes in the code saying like, oh, if you do this in Go, you would expose such and such cryptographic things.
I guess, yeah. So I mean, I guess the assumption we had was that Trivi was more powerful than that one, but if that's not the case, then that's fine too. We just need to make sure that there is some automated scanning going on. And if your working group believes that the other one is enough, that's fine too. But from my experience, Trivi is quite powerful, but I don't know if what people think there. Does anyone have any opinion there about? You can either
from other registry, I'm happy to have them both. The thing is that I didn't set up CodeQL myself. So we should involve whoever set up CodeQL for us. Actually, I found it very helpful. So kudos to whoever sort of like the Batman of the situation was for the CodeQL. For Trivi, as soon as you have an example PR to share, I'm happy to include it as well.
Yeah, I also don't know who set up CodeQL.
I think it's just default, right? I think it's just enabled by default on every public repo, right?
Yeah, that might be. So
I think it's a GitHub thing, right?
So my suggestion, we started with Trivi, and then after some months, we will figure out if we should change something, right?
Yeah.
For now, yeah.
So in the case that you could, because of course, theoretically, they should both raise the same issues, right? Theoretically, right? So, and if they don't, that's raising some questions about the power of each of them. But in any case, we just need some automated
I think we
scanning.
should move on here.
Yeah. Okay, so we did that. Okay, calendar stuff. I'm gonna move this under here. Maybe I'm gonna move this a bit later. We can talk about calendar, I think, after here. But okay, so What is this moving case? Oh yeah, we talked about this last time. I think my response to this was like I didn't see any active maintainers of it, and since
Yeah, I think we're working on this, so we can discuss it next time. I don't think Harshit's on the call here, so
I'll
we
move
know
that down. Yeah.
this transition. So
Yeah, because it needs active maintainers, obviously, like any other project. Okay,
Yep.
Notebooks 2.0, I'll just do a quick update. We meet every Thursday at 8 a.m. Pacific, which is the same as these times here if you are in other time zones, 3 p.m. UTC and 11 a.m. Eastern. We're doing a lot of stuff. If you want to help out and you've got experience, please join our meetings. You can actually join our one from the community calendar by adding it, or well, if it links properly. You can join the calendar and it will add it to your event, or you can just add it to your event manually. Let me just fix that link. Okay, so the update is that we are getting close to having an end-to-end deployable thing that we can actually demo for Notebooks 2.0, which is exciting, but it's not quite ready yet. So hopefully in the next few weeks, we'll have that to demo on one of these calls. But Notebooks 2.0 is very exciting. If you want to learn more about it, please go to this issue. If you have any questions, please come on Thursdays and ask them. Andre, you want to talk about this one?
yeah, maybe quickly, definitely. So as you know, like we released Trainer like 1 month ago, and recently we added support for MLX on CUDA. I think this is pretty cool. I think overall, for those who don't know, MLX is a framework which is optimized for Apple Silicon. The problem we've been facing with, there is no way for you to run this the use GPU within containers. So we kind of like support a CPU only mode for MLX runtimes. But for now, like, the community introduced the CUDA backend, which means right now you can fine tune or train LLMs with MLX using CUDA on GPUs, and then you can evaluate them locally on your Mac machines, which is pretty cool. And I see a lot of energy from the community. So please, stay involved. And I think I will try to work with them to see how we can, make us as the way to go platform to run MLX on Kubernetes, because I don't see a lot of people actually run this in a cloud native way. I know some folks running this on EXO. So for those who don't know, like there are several ways how you can, around those frameworks on some sort of cloud, but it's not really Kubernetes. So we're kind of like the first community who try to adopt this framework on top of Kubernetes, and we're using like MPI based runtime. So MPI gives us a lot of flexibility to support more ML frameworks in addition to Torch, DeepSpeed, and others that we already support. So pretty cool. Like just stay in touch. We'll see like if we can also cross link our documentation from the MLX community website.
Cool. And any next steps for people here?
No, just if you want to get involved again, feel free to join our calls, like similar to SDK, where we meet Wednesdays at different times. And I will link the community notes here on this meeting notes.
Okay, cool. And we've got a bit of extra time, but I think we should quickly talk about what we're doing about the calendar then. So there has been issues for a long time about this, but we need to get. So there's a repo called Kubeflow Community that is theoretically connected to GitOps to do calendar stuff. Status. There is a GitOps system to sync and manage community calendar events from Kubeflow community repo. And then the issue is something is wrong with the GitOps, which runs in a GCP account we don't have access to. Is that still true?
Yep.
Okay. I guess what's our plan here? Oh. Is it wait, no, YouTube? This is something different.
No, I've added this one because if you're reaching out to Google for the permission, then this is another thing that sort of like Google owners could help us with.
I'm gonna put this down here as a separate thing.
Yeah, I think for the calendar again, as I said before, if we can have cross-account EAM role, we can try. I have access to some of those Kubeflow admin where we run our internal ACLs, and also have access to the Kubeflow CI. If you want to try to create the AM role, we can do so, but
I think what we'll need to do, so this is a good this is a good idea to try. I think the issue was that, so there is so I think we might have archived the repo which actually created did the GitOps for the like, what's it called? Not GitOps in this case, it's infra or something. Like, this was archived, even though I think it is actually in here, right?
yeah, I'm not sure where sync for calendar runs. So
no, so that definitely runs. So the actual calendar sync runs in a Kubernetes cluster from these pods and deployments, and then there's a git sync. You can look here that's git syncing itself from here. You know what I mean? So anything could have gone wrong. We just don't have access to the Kubernetes cluster to check, right? It's probably just that the git sync failed. You know what I mean? Like, that's probably the most likely thing. But so the issue, I guess, is what's our status? So obviously we should get access to this GitHub, this GCP account. And if we can't do that, like, options, like, we need access to.
So access, let's say we can't do that.
Well, the best option is to try and get access, right? And if we can't,
no, we can't get access.
Who does have access?
Like, I already know, like, we can get access.
But okay, even if we can't, who does have access? Like,
yeah,
does
James
someone
has access, but I'm not sure if James will give us access.
I don't. Again, even if we don't have access ourselves, can we just, like, get on a call and have him fix it? You know
no,
what I
I
mean?
don't think he will fix it. So,
well, at least change the permissions then, or something. Like,
no, this is again, from my perspective, it's not possible. Like, that is why we should find out.
even in the short term, fixing it while we, like, getting it fixed while we get it.
Yes, it is not possible.
Is there a reason why James can't help here? Because I feel like he could.
No, like, I mean, again, you can try Matthew yourself, but from my conversations, we can't do that.
James Wu, right?
No, James James Wu, he's no longer with Google. So
LAU. Okay, interesting. Okay, we need to. So option 1, option 2, and maybe we're going to do this one either way. Is create, migrate, like, give another. Which are the GCP account that we have access to the ability, like, set up Kubernetes IAM in another and connect it to the. So this is, I think this one's actually pretty easy. So the question is just, we also we do want to go to this old one and stop this old account from messing with it as well, though, right? So my thought here, if we wanted to do the second one, is we will need, there's a service account binding here, right? KF Autobot. If we then search for this in the internal ACLs, it should be here in the repo. So, like, if we go, see, like, it's under, no, actually, no, we need to do org kubeflow. But that is correct, if you see what I mean. So, like, there's ACLs, so, not that one. Interesting, right? So this one is, wait, how does this keep working, right? The fact that this is kept, has anyone done any Google Group additions in a while?
Yeah, so we run this in the Kubeflow admin account. I have access to this GKey cluster.
Where? This one?
Group sync, I think it's called, so let me double check.
Because that one, interestingly, also says, you know what I mean? So, interesting. That looks
so I
like,
have a namespace on GKey account called GitHub admin. And then there we run a GitHub sync. I recently fixed the issue once the artifact was deprecated, and we have to migrate the images to the new GKey artifacts registry.
So this one looks like it's got the credential that we need.
No, group sync deployment, but what is a namespace?
That's a good question. Because, like, what I'm saying is, this looks like 2 weeks ago, you added yourself as, did this actually work? header?
No, this doesn't work actually. No, this doesn't work because this needs to be manually synced if you go through instructions here.
Cool. There is a Kubernetes one. I think it did used to work automatically, but again, I think this is in the same Kubernetes.
I don't know
account.
where this runs, right?
This would be the same one. This would be in the same place as the
Yeah,
calendar.
on I don't recall exactly where, but in some of these internal SCLs, there is exactly is where the machine that this was running. But we don't have access for this machine.
Is a Kubernetes cluster, yeah. Like, and also,
Yeah.
but it looks like there is this credential here as well. Interestingly, interesting. So that's why I'm saying we need to. There's like 3 things that are really important that are running here that need to get migrated. I'm gonna put this as a link as well, which is that. Also, the Google group syncing seems to run in the same place from Kubeflow internal ACLs. So like the solution is definitely to get us set up on the other GCP account, right? Or somewhere, just anywhere, even if it's set up manually to run or something. So the thing that I was trying to say was that this Autobot account, so like this, in both cases, there's going to be an ACL. Yeah, see, this is what I'm saying. This used to be set up with this GitOps here. So this is clearly actually what it is, right? It's just that this repo is archived. There is a, like this is under the community info repo that doesn't exist anymore. But this GCP account has existed forever. And it's probably called that. It's probably that. It's probably this. It's probably called that. KF Infra GitOps. Is that, are you aware of this, Andre? This one?
Is it the GCP project, right?
This is a GCP project, yes. It's like this is the one that we need to get transferred into the CNCF if we can.
No, it doesn't look like I have access.
No, that's what I'm saying. So like this, the action that we should ask of Google's OSPO is to transfer this one to the CNCF, just like they did for the other 2.
I don't think they transferred this to the CNCF. I think they transferred this to myself.
You sure?
Yeah, because like for example, like the Pro, like right, like the to run, this is not.
The Prow runs in their common one. We can't have access to that one.
No, I have access to Pro one.
Okay, interesting.
Oh no, sorry, no, I don't have access to Pro one. I have access for internal ACLs, right? We're on sync, right?
In internal ACLs.
It's Kubeflow admin, right?
So is that under groups or GitHub?
It's under
because this is internal ACLs.
Yeah.
So because there's 2 different syncings that go on here. There's one for the Google groups, which I believe is in that Kubernetes cluster that we care about.
Yeah, but if you go to Google Groups README, it says like you should manually run the sync.
Well, that was like true back in the day. You can also do that.
It might be still true, like because I don't know if we automatically run. Because the thing is, like when we add myself and Adder to the calendar admins, we didn't get access automatically, right?
I'm suspecting that what's happened is something has gone wrong in that repo. I wonder if it's as simple as that its Kubernetes cluster hasn't been updated and it got turned.
Exactly, but we don't have the logs, right? If you take a look.
Well, it's more like if we just had, we could almost certainly resolve it very quickly if we got access to that cluster. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah. Or at least the logs to see if something is broken.
And either way, we should move it to an account, which we do have, which is what I'm saying. So like step 1, I still think is to try and like get, let's just basically fix that one if we can. Like we should jump on a call.
Do you want to reach out to James Liu?
I mean, I can more aggressively reach out, but if anyone else at Google, like, so I think the question is, what are we asking? I think the quickest ask though is to get them to transfer that account, right? Because it's not specific to anything but us. Like the billing aspect might be a bit complex, but.
So do you want to reach out to James?
I mean, we have reached out before, but I need to be more aggressive about it. Yeah. Like,
okay.
But anyway, the next steps after that, because it will help us. So all of the GitOps is actually available here, right? So we can just copy it effectively if necessary. Well, with updates. So I guess this is the question for you, Andre. So like, do we have an account which is sponsored by the CNCF or someone that has ability to run a Kubernetes cluster?
Someone needs to take a look and explore this. I'm not sure.
So do you want to know what I'm saying is in the GCP? Because the benefit of doing it in GCP is from the service account perspective. You know, so like, so what I was trying to get at was that we can add this. So this kind of GCP service account, right? infer GitOps, right? We don't have access to that account. So we're going to need to make it something that we do have access to. But what we can do is give that account, whatever it is, KF Autobot at, you know, the other GCP account we have actual admin on. We need to give it permission to do these things. So for example, I think, so I was looking for it here. So there is, because GitOps policy members, this is like allowing the Kubernetes cluster to do it with an IAM role binding. But the one, where is the one that actually binds it in terms of internal ACLs? It'll be under KF Autobot, maybe. Because you'd expect it to also be in the internal ACLs having permission, you know? Or maybe it is actually in, maybe it is manually created in the place I was just looking, one of these ones. Because it's, yeah, KF Autobot is in there, but that's a Kube customized service account. Because maybe it's just been manually done in the UI. That's the part which is more annoying if it has. Because this is just allowing the Kubernetes cluster to do it, to use it as an IAM role. This, maybe this one is actually. No, this is the binding. Because all we need to do is do the same thing again and give it the same permissions it had before. That's what I'm saying, right? If we need to make a new service account in a new account and then give it the ability, because then all it needs to be able to do is run. For example, the first one is it needs to be able to run these Google group syncs, right? Which this one should work, right? Because this did get transferred, right? This Google account. I've only got like a couple minutes, but.
Yeah, anyway, so I also need to drop soon. So I think, Matthew, if you want to explore this, that will be great. If you want to reach out to James also, that will be also helpful. Otherwise,
yeah. I mean, the
we
next
need to find someone who can drive those things.
Either
right?
way, we need to make something sync work. Even if we just have a manual sync, we need to get, so I guess the first question that regardless of how we do it is we need to get a service account that is capable of running updates on the calendar. So like the calendar is owned by a Google group, right? Sorry, a Google workspace. That's like where, you know what I mean? Like where, like when I go groups here, you know, you've got all these CI team viewers and whatever else, right? Where does this live? You know what I mean? Like, what do you know, Andre?
No, I don't know.
Like, so what, I know these are a Google, you know, I just suspect that this is probably in that account. You know what I mean? Like these are probably groups in that account. But, you know, where does the @Kubeflow email come from? Do we know? Because it'd be quite nice to be able to have emails to give out.
Yeah, again, I'm not sure. Like, I don't know where this Google group has been set up. So,
Yeah. So, oh, there you go.
Anyway, so
this is probably the problem.
Yeah. So again, as I said, like, Matthew, they want to drive this.
I mean, yeah, the problem is, yeah, the thing we need to see is we need to understand exactly what we're asking. That's what we need to figure out. But I can help, but like, the password and recovery codes are stored in secret manager. Okay, interesting. So we need access to this account, or at least we need someone who has access to drive the ability for us to migrate it, you know? That's what I'm saying. Because we still use these to get calendar admins, for example, you know? Like I'm in here and it definitely works. Okay, well, we need to keep thinking about it. Anything else we need to talk about before the ending? I can more aggressively reach out to James. Does anyone else have anything they need to add?
I'm good. Yep. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, I'll stop recording.